Coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios, this is Prime News on SABC 3 and in your top stories at this hour. First up, South Africa has been delisted from the notorious grey list after more than 2 years of intense scrutiny by the Financial Action Task Force.
I have to first understand if things that PRASA did were deliberate. There is one fact that I would accept wholeheartedly. She did not understand the environment that she was in.
Former Police Minister Ramaphosa has taken aim at the former National Police Commissioner Ramaphosa while delivering testimony before Parliament's ad hoc committee.
Madlanga was informed of our briefing that we were coming to we were doing a briefing at the STF offices.
And the Madlanga Commission has heard that alleged cartel member Vusmuzi Cat Madlala was tipped off about the police operation that would descend on his residence in connection with the possible whereabouts of Jerry Boshoga. It's primetime action right here on Prime News on SABC 3. A very good evening to you. My name is Beki Mutumomolete, your host for this evening. Tonight we bring the world to you in focus. Stick with us as we get into our top stories. And here they are. South Africa has been formally delisted from the Financial Action Task Force grey list, marking a significant milestone in the country's efforts to strengthen its financial regulatory framework. The announcement was made this afternoon during the final day of the FATF plenary and working group meetings that were held in Paris.
I've just come out of the meetings with the FATF. I'm out here in Paris where the meetings have been held, and FATF has just made the announcement that they have decided to delist us from the grey list. So we have real cause to celebrate. I think this is a tremendous confidence in our ability to deal with anti-money laundering and terror financing, and we're now off the grey list. Our policy framework is amongst the best in the world. Our problem is implementation. Our problem is what FATF calls, we did very badly in effectiveness, the poor ability to implement our laws, to get enforcement done, to supervise properly against money laundering. That is a challenge. And yes, getting off the grey list just means that FATF believes that we don't need to be monitored to begin to do the right things, and to do the right things for us as a country, not for FATF. And what this means is that we've started to do the right things.
Next up, former Police Minister Ramaphosa has taken aim at the former National Police Commissioner Ramaphosa while delivering testimony before Parliament's ad hoc committee. Ramaphosa told MPs that PRASA did not understand the environment she was in when she assumed the top job, adding that the centre could not hold, and that's why South Africa is where it is now.
I have to first understand if things that PRASA did were deliberate. There is one fact that I would accept wholeheartedly. She did not understand the environment that she was in. It's a tough, difficult, energy-sapping environment, very manipulative and so unscrupulous environment to be in. So her having not any form of resemblance of the experience would be two things: make serious mistake or seriously manipulated for the outcomes that are known by those that are handling her. And I believe it was both.
Furthermore, the former police minister says that he is pleased to have received the opportunity to appear before the ad hoc committee. Ramaphosa was the fourth witness to appear before the committee, which was established by Parliament to investigate wide-ranging allegations made by the KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi about criminal infiltration, corruption and political interference in the justice system.
Former Police Minister Bheki Cele was happy to have his 2 days in Parliament. He said he appreciated the courtesy extended to him by the committee. Cele was the Police Minister in South Africa at the time the Political Killings Task Team was established. The committee believed he could assist as it gathers information relating to Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi's allegations.
One didn't come here as a charged person, as a criminal, but indeed one would have been open to see that one make a contribution to that.
When asked how he felt about the allegations levelled against him by Mkhwanazi, which Mkhwanazi has since withdrawn, Cele said he hopes they get a chance to sit down and talk.
Surely it has happened. I accept that he has done it. It would be nice to see him one day and talk about it. He's a person that is easy to speak to, no problem.
The committee resumes its work next Tuesday. The two deputy ministers as well as Police Minister Professor Firoz Kachalia are expected to face the MPs. Abra Barbia, SABC News, Parliament.
The Madlanga Commission, probing the same allegations, has heard that the alleged cartel member Vusumuzi Matlala was tipped off about the police operation that would descend on his residence in connection with the possible whereabouts of Jerry Bushura. Bushura, a Pretoria businessman and farmer, was kidnapped in November 2024 following a business meeting in Pretoria.
The Madlanga Commission has heard that the December 2024 raid of the home of alleged cartel member Vusumuzi Matlala did not yield the discovery of abducted Pretoria businessman Jerry Bushura, but instead left clues that Bushura may have been held there prior to the operation through the white sheet in one of the rooms that carried the same distinct features as the white sheet in the ransom video, according to Witness C.
My conclusion is that by the time that Mr. Matlala was informed of our briefing that we were coming to we were doing a briefing at the STF offices, that gave him ample time to move Mr. Bushura, as we were of a full belief that Mr. Bushura was there.
Witness C further alleged that Matlala freely volunteered information during the said raid, such as his alleged meeting with Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, who has been placed on special leave, that evening that was allegedly organized by a third party, Brian Mkhotsi, who is also alleged to be an associate of Mchunu. Witness C further testified that the name-dropping exercise also extended to high-ranking SABC officials.
He named, number one, the Deputy National Commissioner, General Sibia, and he also gave his contact details. Second one, he named General Feroz Khan and also gave his contact details, and General Shibiri, and also gave his contract details. He further indicated that he is related to one General Sinona.
The commission continues on Monday. Kani Mapanga, SABC News, Pretoria.
Welcome back. 3 suspected kidnappers have been shot and killed during a confrontation with Gauteng police in Parktown, Johannesburg. The incident unfolded as members of the South African Police Service anti-kidnapping task team intercepted the suspects who were allegedly en route to commit a robbery. Acting Gauteng Police Commissioner Major General Fred Gekana says that one of them is linked to a cash and transit heist in Sebokeng, where 9 suspects were fatally wounded and 2 arrested.
Fortunately, they shot at police, and the police had to defend themselves and the team that was there. And 3 of them, as you can see, those guys, they are lying there. And what I can allude is that one of them, it's linked to a cash and transit heist that happened on the 6th of April 2003 in Sebokeng, where 9 suspects were fatally wounded and 2 were arrested. And through those 2 were arrested, that's what led us to know who is the other suspect who managed to escape. And further than that, during June this year, a Chinese national was kidnapped in Landlaagte Police Precinct Now, they are linked to that case of that kidnapping. And last week, on the 14th at Randbeck, an South African Indian male, they tried to kidnap, but that person managed to drive through. He collided deliberately with one of their vehicles because they were using more than one vehicle.
And in other news, the DA has filed a complaint against the Passenger Rail Agency of South Africa, PRASA, with the Public Protector. The party has called into question the legitimacy of a 7.5 billion rand rail refurbishment program that was instituted by PRASA in 2022, which saw 7 contractors awarded a tender to do the work. It is alleging that the program is refurbishing the old yellow trains only for those same trains to be parked at stations to gather dust.
Why would you spend 7.5 billion rands of taxpayers' money refurbishing old trains that you've got no use for, and we are even considering scrapping them, and that we are even considering selling them off, and we are not telling us? At least tell us, say, Eswatini wants this train. Tell us that Kenya wants this train. They want to pay X amount of money. Then we can see that there's value for money that we're going to recover at the money that we've spent so far. But even more, PRASA is receiving new trains from Gibela annually. They've got a contract that I think Gibela needs to give them 80 new trains, the blue ones. Everywhere you go in the country, they're deploying new trains.
The next session of the reopened inquest into the killings of the Cradock Four will sit in the Gqeberha High Court in March 2026. Yofel van der Westhuizen, the ex-apartheid military commander, concluded his testimony today, calling the end of the second session into the inquest. Van der Westhuizen is accused of writing the signal that called for the permanent removal of Matthew Goniwe.
The cross-examination continued to probe the validity of Yofel van der Westhuizen's testimony from the Zitsman's inquest of 1993 and the testimony made in the reopened inquest. Advocate Howard Varney, representing the families of the slain activists, put it to the witness that the evidence he was giving regarding the signal was false.
My lady, I deny that because I did indicate before I did not send the signal, I did not draft the signal, I'm not responsible for the wording thereof, and I did not sign the signal, and I didn't send it.
The victims' families say that although persons of interest like Eugene de Kock did not make it to the sitting, they are very pleased with how the past 2 weeks have gone.
We are particularly proud of the fact as to how our lawyers were able to conduct these hearings and these sessions. And we were able to pose some very serious questions to the persons of interest that, of course, included Craig Williamson, Gerrit Erasmus, we had Sam de Beer here, and of course we had General Yofel van der Westhuizen here today. And you could see that for the first time ever, our lawyers were able to ask them questions that they had never had to answer previously.
The next session will only sit for a week, starting from the 23rd to the 27th of March next year. Kim Daniels, SABC News, Gqeberha.
Thank you for staying with us. The South African Rugby Union President, Mark Alexander, says individuals who engage in bullying are not welcome in the sport that prides itself on respect and integrity. Sari was commenting on the recent incident at Milnerton High School, in which a grade 10 learner can be seen on a video that went viral of him being beaten with objects, including a hockey stick.
Sparking widespread condemnation and allegations that incidents such as these are often swept under the carpet to protect up-and-coming rugby players at school level. But SARU has taken a firm stance in describing the incident as unacceptable behaviour and not representative of the values which the sport of rugby upholds.
This type of behaviour has no place in society and would never be tolerated in the rugby environment. It is unfortunate and unfair that a schoolyard incident has been linked to our sport. But we take this opportunity to underline rugby's values. Our sport teaches the respect, discipline, humility, and empathy. Values that are fundamental to a child's development and to the spirit of our sport.
Alexander says SARU would have welcomed the opportunity to work with the school regarding the issue, but that the matter falls under the jurisdiction of the Education Department and school governing body.
I need to advise that this is a Department of Education issue, and however, as Western Province, and because we have players that's there, they play within our system. Militant is a very important feeder school for our system. We do need to ensure that safeguarding takes place, and safeguarding is a very important aspect of our training and our facilitation.
The Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Gayton McKenzie, has also called for change to tackle the, quote, toxic culture in some schools where privileged rugby players may feel untouchable, unquote. Vanessa Puna, SABC News, Cape Town.
SABC, host broadcaster of the G20 South Africa 2025.
President Cyril Ramaphosa has concluded his state visit to Vietnam, where the two nations agreed to elevate relations to a strategic partnership. This move marks a major step in deepening South-South cooperation, with the two countries pledging closer collaboration in trade, digital innovation and global governance.
President Cyril Ramaphosa received a warm welcome at the Presidential Palace in Hanoi at the start of his two-day state visit aimed at strengthening political and economic ties between South Africa and Vietnam. Talks between the two nations covered trade, defense, agriculture and technology. Ramaphosa used the platform to underscore the shared vision of cooperation between Africa and Southeast Asia.
Today we take a decisive step towards the commencement of a process to elevate our bilateral relationship to a strategic partnership. This reflects our shared commitment to deepening cooperation across a range of sectors.
The decision to elevate ties comes as both nations mark key milestones, with Vietnam celebrating 80 years of independence and South Africa chairing the G20 this year.
We were very proud to accept the agreement by Vietnam to attend the G20 summit, which will be held in Johannesburg in South Africa.
As his visit wraps up, President Ramaphosa now heads to Malaysia, where he will participate in the ASEAN summit, along with other world leaders, including US President Donald Trump and China's Xi Jinping. I'm Bukhali Pile, SABC News.
In your sports news, Banyana Banyana assistant coach Tina Mbuli and the players admit that they miss the presence of head coach Desiree Ellis. Ellis will also miss Tuesday's second leg of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against the Democratic Republic of Congo in Soweto. The Banyana coach has a contractual dispute with the South African Football Association.
The void left by Ellis is clearly noticeable. The 62-year-old will now miss Banyana Banyana's second qualifier against the DRC on Tuesday.
To be honest, our coach is obviously the leader of the team, but she came to see us before we went to the airport on Sunday. So she has been in contact with us. I just got a text from her now this morning just to say she's still with us. And we discuss training, we discuss everything. She's still very much part of this group.
Banyana Banyana captain Refilwe Jane did not want to be drawn into the matter between Ellis and Safam.
Yes, we're very excited and happy that the overseas-based players will be with us in the second leg. We know the qualities that they bring in the team, the experience that they have. So we're hoping that working together with them, we can try and boost the team and get the positive results on Tuesday.
Khatlana is back in the Banyana Banyana fold after missing the Women's Africa Cup of Nations tournament in Morocco earlier this year.
Actually, it was something personal that I had to do. It had nothing to do with the federation, but me and my family.
17-year-old forward Bonolo Mukoma is the youngest member of the squad.
It feels amazing because making my Banyana Banyana thing at the team at the age of 17 is a huge opportunity for me.
Sfiso Ramara, SABC News, Soweto.
The South African women's cricket team has a real opportunity to reach its first ICC World Cup final this year. The Proteas, runners-up at 2 T20 World Cups, are on a 5-match winning streak in India and Sri Lanka and have already secured their place in the semi-finals.
Something works for us when we get to tournaments like this, and we're really motivated to finish well and do well. And yeah, I think now reaching a couple of semi-finals in the past just gives us more confidence, but now obviously we want to take it one step further, because in ODI World Cup we haven't done that before. So it really means a lot to us, and that's obviously what you compete for and what you're here for, to make it to that last and final match and then hopefully lift the trophy. But I think the fact that we have participated in a couple of semi-finals now, it just helps us to kind of deal with that pressure and kind of know what to expect from a game like that.
And that is how we wrap up our broadcast this evening. Thank you for tuning in. We wish you an incredible weekend ahead. And until next time, from myself, Becky, and the team, stay ahead. Our weather team is on standby with your weekend weather report. Take care.
Good evening and welcome. Let's take a look at what to expect weather-wise for tonight as well as tomorrow. A band of partly cloudy conditions over the western interior, reaching the southwestern, southern and southeastern coastal regions, with some evening fog patches expected in places over the eastern part of the Eastern Cape. Now isolated showers and thunder showers forecast over the southern parts of the Northern Cape, into the eastern parts of the Western Cape and the western parts of the Eastern Cape. Tomorrow, starting off with early morning fog patches along the southeastern and eastern escarpment. Those fog patches expected to reduce visibility to less than 1 kilometer in places. Otherwise, we'll be fine to partly cloudy across most parts of the country, with some showers and rain over the southern parts, and then isolated to scatter showers and thunder showers through the central, southeastern, as well as the eastern part of the country, with an approaching cold front with strong westerlies ahead of it. South African Weather Service warning of high fire danger conditions in places over the central, northern, as well as the eastern part of the country, and that is where runaway wildfires are possible. So please do take caution and do not cause any unnecessary fires. Overnight temperatures seeing Bloemfontein down to 12, George at 15, 13 in Worcester, tomorrow peaking at 22. It will be a warm day in Upington with 30. 31 is your maximum in Pretoria. Lephalale peaking at 34, while Musina and Palabora will reach 36. Very hot to hot conditions on Sunday over the northeastern parts. Otherwise, cold to cool, with isolated showers and rain over the southern, southeastern, as well as over the northeastern interior, scattered mainly over Lesotho into the eastern part of the Eastern Cape, reaching the southern coastal regions. That's your weather. Do stay tuned.